Okay, here's the assignment you're going to be doing for today. Now, you're going to find where the lines cross, but if I make that dashed line, remember on the y side of the equals, okay, the y is not by itself. So to graph it, I need to get the y by itself. So write your first equation on your colored piece of scratch paper, x minus y equals -4, and then the other one, write it here as well. Okay, now remember the trick to this, okay? You put ones in front. If your y has a minus in front of it, okay, if the number in front of the y has a minus in front of it, you switch the signs. So negative, positive, positive. Now circle that y. So outside we have a -1x. We have to plus 1x to get that to 0. Okay. So that's gone. Now I put my own x here, 0x, and then I put plus 1x there. So line up your equals, you have 1y. Okay. 0x plus 1x is 1x. You put that first. You got to do your x's first and the plus 4. Now I can divide by the number in front of the y. Divide by this number here. And now y will be by itself. So 1 divided by 1 would be 1x. 4 divided by 1 is 4. Now I have my m and my b. Okay. Now look at the other equation. Okay. Once again, I put a 1 there and I have a minus in front of that number. So I go negative, positive, positive. So I circle the plus 1y. And I have to get rid of the -4x. So I add it, and then I put a 0x over there so I have an x there to add to. So plus 4x. So we got 1y. 0x plus 4x is 4x, and then we have plus 1. Then I divide everything by 1. And I have y equals 4x plus 1. And now I have my m and b. It always y has to be on one side by itself, mx plus b. Now we're going to graph the two lines. Put a 1 under your m so it's a fraction. So I go to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then from there I go up 1, forward 1. Okay, so you take your ruler and make the line as straight as you possibly can. Okay, now with the other one, we put a 1 under the 4, so I have plus 1 as my b. And then from there I go up 4, forward 1. Okay, so up 4, forward 1. There's already a point there, that's fine. Okay, and then you make the line through those points. Okay, now mark the point where they cross and circle it right there. So I make a coordinate out of that, and this is what you guys have kind of been having problems on, okay? Start in the middle. How many squares do I have to move so I am directly under that point I circle? I have to move 1 forward. So since I moved 1 forward, x is 1. And then I have to move up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Up 5 meaning y is 5. So there we have it. 1, 5 is the solution to that system. Okay, example 2, once again, we don't have the y's by itself, so I can't do my m and b yet until the y's are by themselves in both equations. So I write them both here. X plus 3y equals 12, and x minus y equals -8. So, remember, I circle the y. Now I don't change the signs on this one because the y multiplier, the number in front of it already has a plus sign, so we don't do the sign change like we did with those. We don't go negative, negative, negative because that number right there, the one in front of the y, okay, is positive. That's exactly what I want. So how would you get rid of a 1x? You'd subtract it. and then we put a plus 0x, and then subtract 1x from there. So line up your equals. So these cross out, and on this side I have 3y. Now on the other side, do my x's. 0 minus 1, okay? 0 minus 1 is going to be negative 1. So it's negative 1x, and then plus 12. Now I divide everything by my 3. Okay, so I'm going to divide negative 1 by 3. I don't want to see decimals. If I get a decimal, what I'm going to do with it is just leave it negative 1x over 3. Just leave it exactly like it is. And 12 divided by 3 is 4. So now I have my m and I have my b, because the y is now on one side by itself. Okay, next one, put 1s in front. Okay, now again, now the number in front has a minus sign. So I need to go negative, positive, positive. So I circle the plus 1y. We get rid of the minus 1x by adding 1x. Then I put a 0x, so I actually see an x over there, then plus 1x to that. So you got 1y. So I take 0x plus 1x, that's 1x, and then plus 8, okay? Then divide everything by 1. So 1 divided by 1 is 1, so I put 1x, and 8 divided by 1 is 8, okay? Now you have your m, you have your b. Remember, you want your m to be a fraction, so you put a 1 under it if it's not a fraction. You just use a 1 on the bottom. So I graph this one, plus 4. I go up 1, 2, 3, 4. Then from there I go down 1 because we have a negative and forward 3. So down 1, forward 1, 2, 3. Down 1, 1, 2, 3. Then there's my line. Okay, now my other one, plus 8. So up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And my 1 on top is positive, so I go up 1, forward 1. So up 1, forward 1, up 1, forward 1, and now I make that line. Okay, now I make a point where the lines cross, and I got to find what that, I got to name that coordinate. So I start in the middle, and I have to go backwards, so I'm under it. 1, 2, 3. Now I'm under it, so negative 3. Then up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, up 5 means positive 5. Okay, so negative 3, 5. Okay, example 3. Once again, we got to rewrite these equations so the y is by itself. So we have 5x plus y equals 4, and we have x minus y equals 2. So I put a 1 in front of my y, and it is a plus, so I don't need to change the signs. I'm ready to circle it. And I have to get rid of the 5x by subtracting because it's positive. So I put a plus 0x and then minus 5x from that. So I have 1y. And first I take 0 minus 5. 0 minus 5 is negative 5x. And then we still got the plus 4. Then I divide everything by 1. Now negative 5 divided by 1 would be negative 5x, and 4 divided by 1 is 4. So I have my m and my b. I will put a 1 in under the m so I have a fraction. Okay, now we have a minus in front of that, so I don't circle it. I got to make it plus. So I go negative, plus, negative. All three have to be changed to their opposites. If you're going to make that a plus, then the other have to change to their opposites. So I have a plus 1x, okay, and then I put a plus 0x, and I plus 1x to that. So I have 1y. 0x plus 1x is 1x, and then I have the plus negative 2. Now I divide by 1, And 1 divided by 1 is 1x. Negative 2 divided by 1 is negative 2. I'll put a 1 under that, and we have mx plus b. Okay, now graph them. You have plus 4. And then from there, we move down 5, forward 1. Okay, always go forward. Okay, you go up sometimes, down sometimes, but we're always going forward. Okay, make the graph. Okay, now my other one, the b is negative 2, so I start at negative 2. Okay, and I go up 1, forward 1, up 1, forward 1. Run into a point. Okay. Okay, and there's my coordinate. Okay. Now I start from here, the middle. I have to move forward, and I'm right above it. So forward 1, so that's 1, and then down 1, so negative 1. Okay, last example. Once again, we have to rewrite both the equations so that the y's are by themselves, so I can use my slope to get the line graphed accurately. Okay, now that's a minus in front of the y coefficient, so I go negative plus plus. Okay, negative 1x, we add 1x, we put a 0x over there, so I have a place where I can add 1x. So I have 4y, 0x plus 1x is 1x plus 4. Now I divide by 4. Now we're going to take 1 divided by 4. Use a calculator. I got a decimal, so when I divide and it's a decimal, we want to just keep it 1x over 4. Then 4 divided by 4 is 1. Okay, I have my m and I have my b. Okay, negative plus negative. Okay. So negative 5x plus 5x, I put a plus 0x and add 5x there. So that's 4y. 0x plus 5x is going to be 5x, and then we have the plus negative 12. Okay, from there. Now I can divide everything by 4. Okay, if I divide it by 4 decimal, so I keep it 5x over 4. And then negative 12 divided by 3 by 4 is going to be negative 3. So plus negative 3. And now I have my m and my b. So my b is plus 1. And then I go up 1, forward 4. Okay, then in my second line I have a b of negative 3, so that's like the beginning, okay? And then from there I go up 1, forward, up 5, forward 4. And there's already a point there. And they should cross, okay? So they cross in this point here, and that is from the middle. I have to move forward 1, 2, 3, 4. So forward 4 means 4, and then 2 means 1, 2.